Hello, welcome back to my channel. I am still trying to find the best place to sit because I really love this little corner I've created in the background, but my hair blocks it. So, we'll figure that out at some point. Either way, hello, welcome back to my channel, So Dancing. I am So, and I'm using this channel to walk through the different goals towards promising to live. Thank you for coming back, or if it's your first time here, welcome. I am using this channel as a promise to live. So, that being said, last video I mentioned 6 promises for 2026, or 2026 promises, as I like to call it. And I mentioned that I would take time to break down what each promise means for me. So, I'll be using this video to walk through my 6 promises and the reasoning behind them as to why I want to do them for incorporating into my day-to-day over the next year. We're bringing back our handy-dandy computer journal because I write a lot of these on paper, but I cannot read my handwriting to save my life. So, I usually convert my journals into little text notes. Thank you for stopping by, and let's get into it. Editing So interrupting to say, filming So had a lot of expectations for what was going to go into this video, and I can't promise any of those, so look for a picture here and there. We'll see what happens. I am about 0 minutes in, just finished cutting, and good luck, all the best. Enjoy the video. Promise number 1. Walk in nature. Question. If you knew there was no finish line, would you keep running? If you knew there was no finish line, what would you want your life to be? I think maybe life is just a trail. And if it's a trail, that means there are no set deadlines or endings. And if there are no set deadlines or endings, I can make it my own. So I've decided, I want to use this time to grow, to learn. So what if we use this as an excuse to learn? No traditional plan, no crazy rough finished projects, but a path truly dedicated to the journey. I saw a TikTok a while ago. I can't remember what the account name was, but his message stuck with me. People were giving him hate for going back to school for his doctorate, but he would be 36 by the time he graduated. And his response was, I'm gonna be 36 anyways. I might as well be 36 and a doctor. And I went, huh. I guess life at the end of the day is nothing but benchmarks, all self-imposed. And for that reason, I don't think life will be a race you finish, because that would imply it was a competition to begin with. Maybe life is just a trail. And if it's a trail with no set deadlines or endings, I can make it my own. So, question. If you knew there was no finish line, would you keep running? If you knew there was no finish line, what would you want your life to be? Yeah. Doesn't exactly relate to walking in nature, but I know for me, if I knew life was no finish line, I want to enjoy it. I want to do the things purposely that I take for granted today, the things that feel like they can be pushed off until later. If life has no finish line, if life is no competition, if life is nothing but benchmarks all self-imposed, I want to walk. I want to sit outside in the sun and soak it up in the way that I did running around as a kid with my cousins. I want to be present. So, walking is my way of doing that. So my goal for Promise 1 is to walk in nature 1 day a week and once every other weekend. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it's more than I do today. So, baby steps. Promise 2. Eat breakfast within 2 hours of waking up. Did you eat? Nourishment does not need to be conventional. You just need to be fed. If breakfast looks like toast and eggs, or a bowl of soup, or a yogurt bowl with fruit and peanut butter, that is fine. But you need more than coffee, or tea, in my case. More than tea with almond milk. Give yourself the energy to live. If I haven't mentioned before, I spend a lot of my time relatively tired, a little bit fatigued, and forgetting to eat is a really easy thing for me to do. So, I want to make sure I eat early. Because I realized when I was on vacation not that long ago that when I was waking up every morning and eating, I just had way more energy throughout the day. Sounds like a given, I know, but it's something that I often forget because I'm really good at making it through the day, skipping that first meal. So, did you eat? Promise 3. Swap late night scrolling with one hobby, twice a week. What are your hobbies? We often hear, you shouldn't do this, or stop doing that. Don't doom scroll, don't sleep late, stop procrastinating, exercise daily. But rarely have I heard people give a direct answer on how to start, without having to opt in to something else first. I know for me, most of these came about as a means to survive the day. Sure, I like to scroll, but I don't want to doom scroll. And if you use scrolling as a means of avoidance or self-soothing, you need to replace it with something else. So today's activity is finding that something else to do instead. What are your hobbies? I want you to try and list 3 things in each category. Name 3 things that, 1, bring you joy, 3 things that you want to explore, 3 things that require movement, 3 things that don't require screens, and 3 things that do require screens. So that way, on one of those late nights, when you find yourself a few too many hours into a scroll, you can ask yourself, why am I scrolling? And what can I do instead of scrolling? Do I need something that brings me joy? Something new? Something active? Just something that is not requiring looking at a screen. Or just something that is not short form scrolling. And a note from my therapist, because I talked to her about finding new hobbies and she added this to my list. Just a reminder that sleep is also an option. If it is 4 a.m. and you want to do something else, but you have to be up at 7, you can also choose to go to sleep. I forget that one. But yeah, just disclaimer, little asterisk. Give yourself the option to do something different. Don't feel pressured to fill out the entire thing, but maybe start with 3. You can find my list here. Overall, start small. And remember, this is about building what feels good for your body. So remember to enjoy the fact that you got to choose how to spend your time. None of it is a waste, just a different way of living. So, what are your hobbies? I don't really have much to add to that. Have hobbies, have fun with them. Let them guide you, and maybe it'll lead you to doing something new, something you haven't done before. Maybe it'll lead you, I don't know. Just do things you enjoy at the end of the day. If you're not enjoying life, find ways to make it more enjoyable. you're not enjoying life, give yourself a reason to enjoy it. That's my goal. It's so easy to be miserable. I was really good at it as a kid. So why not just do something you like? Especially if you can. The little things make a big difference. Promise 4. Alter my sleep schedule / sleep more. I hope sleep finds you easily. If you notice, this promise is the one time frame I left blank. And that's because I've struggled with sleep my whole life. I'm learning now that when I am tired, I can rest, and that vitamin D is very important to sleeping well. For me, my goal is to sleep more than 7 hours every night. I want that number to be higher, but I want to be gentle with myself. Decenter expectation and shame from sleep. Because sleep should be a peaceful thing. It is okay to rest your mind in dreams, and any troubles you might have can and should wait until tomorrow. So, how many hours do you plan to sleep a night? And I hope sleep finds you easily. So, yeah, as I mentioned, sleep has always been a controversial topic for me. Love sleeping, always have, but I always found it extremely difficult to fall asleep and stay asleep. And that's something that's gotten a lot easier since I've gotten older. But as a little bit of a perfectionist gifted kid, I found myself often criticizing and punishing myself for not falling asleep when I was supposed to, waking up in the middle of the night, and all of those other things that can break up your sleep when you're... all the things that can break up your sleep, just in general. And I realized once I finally finished school and kind of broke out of the traditional academic field I had surrounded myself in, that there was no competition. For context, if you grew up in a very academic place, for context, if you were... honestly, if you went to a school that was relatively really focused on grades and academics or whatever, if you had a schooling experience that was similar to mine, I feel like the mindset is really common in like magnet schools and college. There would be a celebration for a lack of sleep, saying, oh, I only slept 3 hours last night, oh, I had XYZ homework, and I like pulled an all-nighter, but like I still did well on this thing. It was something to be celebrated. Literally sabotaging your health was something to be celebrated. And finally being an adult and living on my own and having a regular job, I said, oh, just not sleeping is not a flex. like it's not a flex to be up until 5 in the morning and waking up at 7. It's just, what's impressive about that? I don't mean it in a mean way, I just mean sleeping is not a moral failure. Needing sleep makes you human. Everyone needs sleep. Some people need more sleep than others. Everybody's bodies are different, but you need to sleep. And depriving yourself of that is not the flex you think it is. So, yeah, once I broke out of that mindset and I entered adulthood, I was like, maybe I can sleep more. And then when I tried to sleep more, I realized that I feel guilty for sleeping, which made it harder to sleep, made it harder to rest. So, if you feel this way, if you grew up in a similar environment, or even if you didn't and you think this way anyway, you are not failing. It is okay to sleep. It is okay to rest. Resting is not only good for you, it is necessary. And it is okay to want to sleep. It is okay to not feel tired. It is okay to rest, to stop, to breathe. You're doing okay. If it's hard now, it won't be hard forever. So remember to give yourself the time to breathe, to rest, to sleep. Promise 6. Take your vitamin D. It's not about vitamin D. There will come many a times in life where taking care of yourself will not feel like a necessity. Like as long as you feel okay, the checkup can come later. But every year since I started living as an adult, I've discovered one more way life didn't have to be difficult. That it wasn't a skill issue, but a different lifestyle my body craved. That in so many ways, it wasn't that other people bared the pain better. It's that they didn't feel pain. Back pain from hypermobility, stomach pain from dietary restrictions, and lack of sleep from so many reasons, but also vitamin deficiency. Just because you have grown accustomed to something as normal doesn't make it okay. It's okay to want to live easier, and it's okay to find the things that make life easier, healthier. So take your vitamin D. It's not about vitamin D. And lastly, promise 6. Reframe your life. Today I heard a phrase that I want to be a truth for my day-to-day. It's still work, but it's work I enjoy. It's the kind of tired that feels good. Going on an extended vacation at the end of the year left a lot of room for self-reflection. And the most jarring was realizing how much I talk about work. I want to change that. This is for those who work for nothing more than to make a living. I don't think talking about work is something you should avoid, but also shouldn't be something that you censor. Because your work is not your passion. So just like this life, this is very much so. For me personally, I work there. I like my job. I like the people I work with. If you were to ask me if I'd be doing this at 6, I would say no, I was gonna be on Broadway. So for that reason, the times I find myself completely deserving for something that should have less responsibility is why I quit. This is for those who work for nothing more than to make a living. I don't think talking about work is something you should avoid, but it also shouldn't be something that you censor, because your work is not your passion. Let me give you an example, and maybe it's an experience you can relate to. When you were in school, you didn't constantly talk about your math class or English lessons. You spoke of clubs, like theater, and a cappella, and dance, or volleyball, or cross country, or maybe even Sayoli or Mount Because while your day was comprised of all of these events, you mattered the parts of your day that mattered. The parts that stuck, even when you were doing homework after school. You spoke of classmates within your class, the friends during lunch, not the lessons you were learning in biology. And maybe you said, hey, once I'm older, once I'm in high school, or once I'm in college, or once I have my big boy job and can pay my own bills. But look, you're older now. And every day you'll continue to be older. So you have to remember, life doesn't start later. So when you get back from that activity you hate or job you have to do, I want you to try and remember the things you enjoy. And if you really can't find any, it might be time to move. But that's a video for another day. Today, just start with framing your life around the events you care about. Not everything you do can or will be monumental, but they can be enjoyable. That walk in the sun, the funny TikTok from your friend to start your day, the morning coffee or tea that warms your insides, the funny coworkers or classmates that keep you entertained until it's time to go home, the new show you've been binging and telling to your friends. All of it can matter. You can lower the stakes and let it all just be life. Your life begins now. So, those are my 6 promises for 2026. Thank you for making it to the end of the video if you've made it this far. I hope this year continues to be one that we grow and learn from. And come this time next year, we'll have a completely different list because we know at the bare minimum, we're taking care of ourselves. So, it's not going to be an upward journey. It's not going to be an upward battle. Don't worry about getting this perfect. It's not about perfect. It's about doing the little things. Remember, it's the little things. There is no penalty, there's just reward. Thank you for coming back to my channel. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like it. If not, YouTube is free, so feel free to spend your time however you wish from here on out. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and promise to live. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.